Your Excellency, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Hassan. President, before I start my speech, I would like to say one of the few words I still remember from my very good time in Tanzania. I spent 4 years working in Tanzania, and I always remember the hospitality and all I learned about Tanzania, and hope to thank the people of Tanzania for all the nice time I have in Tanzania. So, President, karibu. Your Excellency, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Your Excellencies, members of the President Delegation, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor that we extend our welcome to Your Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and your delegation on this visit to the Luanda refinery, an important asset for the Republic of Angola. The story of the Angolan oil and gas industry began in 1916, with exploratory studies being carried out, with the first oil production occurring in the 1950s. During this period, the Luanda refinery was built and over the years benefited from several revampings and upgrades to remain functional within the parameters required by the industry. At the time of national independence in 1975, Angola produced about 175,000 barrels per day. With the creation of the national oil company Sonangol in 1976, a set of measures was adopted to keep the oil sector functional and attract investments. As a result of several investments, in August 2008, the national oil production reached an average of 2 million barrels of oil per day. Since then, the Angolan economy has been supported mainly by oil production, which today represents about 95% of export earnings, about 30% of gross domestic product, and about 60% of the fiscal revenue of the country. However, the global economic crisis in 2014 and indigenous factors retracted investment in the industry, which combined with the natural decline of the fields caused a considerable decrease in oil production. In 2017, the government, led by His Excellency President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, initiated a set of legal, fiscal, and organizational reforms that resulted in the creation of the National Agency of Petroleum, Gas and Biofuels, National Concessionaire and Regulator for the Upstream, and the Regulatory Institute of Petroleum Derivatives Regulator for the Downstream. With these reforms, Sonangol began to dedicate itself to its core business, that is the exploration, production of oil and gas, refining, distribution and marketing of all derivative products. Most recently, the company added to its portfolio the renewables and critical minerals for the energy transition, becoming a true energy company. Among the main legal instruments approved, we highlighted the Presidential Legislative Decree that establishes the legal regime on additional exploration activities in the development areas of oil concession, the Presidential Legislative Decree that defines the incentives and the procedure for the adequacy of the contractual and fiscal terms applicable to qualified marginal areas. The Presidential Legislative Decree that establishes the legal and tax regime applicable to the activities of prospecting, exploration, evaluation, development, production and sale of natural gas. This last decree is bearing fruits. We have implemented a new gas consortium composed by the main international oil companies operating in Angola and Sonangol, with the objective of developing non-associated gas projects, some of those discovered some time ago while in searching for oil. The primary objective of the new gas consortium is to guarantee the continuous supply of gas to the Angolan LNG facility and the combined cycle thermal power plant in Soyo municipality, and to support the implementation of other industrial projects such as petrochemicals, fertilizers, steel mills. Last December, our government approved a natural gas master plan that defines the basis for leveraging Angola's natural gas resources in order to create jobs and generating revenues to the state. Excellency President, ladies and gentlemen, our main challenge today is the oil production decline, and to mitigate this, our government has approved. That is why our government approved several instruments such as the 2019-2025 binding strategy for new oil concessions, which aims to award at least 50 new blocks, with about 40 blocks having been awarded to date. The 5-year hydrocarbon exploration strategy, which aims to boost and intensify the replenishment of reserves. The permanent offer regime for oil blocks that allow the permanent promotion and negotiation of unawarded auctioned blocks, free areas in concession blocks, and concession assigned to the national concessionaire. The incremental production legislative decree aiming to negotiate new fiscal terms on producing blocks to unlock extra reserves. Those measures taken by the Angolan executive are now having a positive effect, with implementation of several projects that will contribute to the stabilization of the oil production in the short, medium and long term. The Angolan oil industry is robust, consisting of several essential assets for this industry. However, with the aim of making it more competitive, sustainable and resilient, the government has approved several programs and projects for the development of new infrastructures, both for up and downstream. To support the upstream activities, both public and private investments and facilities were built along the years. A good example of these are the Malongo, Kiwanda and Sonil's logistic bases built in Cabinda, Soyo and Luanda respectively. These bases provide support to all the clients and projects being developed in Angola, and they have spare capacity to provide as well support to the neighbor countries such as Namibia, Congo and DRC. Other important infrastructures were built by joint public-private investments, such as the fabrication yards of Petromar in Ambris, Sonamet in Lubito and Painal in Porto Ambuim. These yards have the technical capability and human resource to build the most complex equipment and subsea structures to support the drilling and production of oil and gas, such as jackets, topsides, manifolds. On the downstream side, for the natural gas sector, we have a comprehensive system for the use of gas associated with oil production, namely the Angola LNG project, a plant with the capacity to produce 5 million metric tons per year of LNG, and the Falcon project, a gas reception and distribution facility located in the municipality of Soyo. These facilities not just provide the means to export the gas used to the flared, but also allowed to send gas to the Soyu combined cycle central that produced 750 megawatts of electricity. Furthermore, the new gas consortium has started development of Quiluma Maboqueiro, its first non-associated gas project, and is building new facilities near the Falcon project to collect and treat the referred gas prior to sending it to the LNG plant for exportation. For the storage segment of oil refined products, Angola has an installed capacity of more than 1.5 million cubic meters, with emphasis on the Barra do Dande Ocean Terminal recently inaugurated. Other storage facilities are located in different parts of the country, especially in the provinces located along the coast, to optimize the distribution of oil derivatives. Angola, despite being an oil production country, imports about 70% of its diesel and gasoline needs. To reserve this situation, the Angola government approved a refining strategy that includes the construction of 3 new refineries, namely in Cabinda, Soyu, and Lobito, with capacities to process 60,000, 100,000, and 200,000 barrels of oil per day, respectively. When completed and in operation, these refineries will make Angola self-sufficient in petroleum products and will be able to export surplus production. The first phase of the Cabinda refinery is expected to be inaugurated during the second half of 2025, and the Lobito refinery, owned by Sonangol, has started construction work, and we are looking for investors and partners who would like to join Sonangol. It is our objective to build petrochemical plants near or as part of the new refineries. The government of Angola understands the seriousness of the global climate crisis and is taking measures to mitigate the challenge posed by increasing temperatures caused by greenhouse gas emissions. We are committed to ensuring that our oil and gas activities are carried out in a sustainable manner, while taking into account the need to ensure the industrialization of our nation and well-being of our population. It is our objective that all new oil and gas facilities incorporate equipment and processes that privilege the reduction of emissions, as an example, the Agogo FPSO, built by Azule Energy, is the world's first green FPSO vessel, incorporating carbon capture and storage capabilities aimed at significantly reducing the amount of CO2 emitted. Sonangol, in partnership with INAI, has built a 25-megawatt photovoltaic plant in Karakulu, in the province of Namib, and in association with Total Energy, is developing a similar project with 100 megawatt capacity in Kilemba in the province of Huila. Additionally, Sonangol has established a partnership with German companies to develop a green hydrogen production project to contribute to the diversification and sustainability of its business portfolio, as well as promoting the country's social and economical development in the renewable energy sector. Moreover, Sonangol was instructed to develop biofuels projects and, given its proven financial viability, build a biorefinery. Other oil companies, such as Eni, are also developing biofuel projects. To support those projects, the Angolan government is putting together its biofuel strategy and correspondent legal framework. The aim is to have this approved during the upcoming months. Excellency, to support the exploration production of oil and gas, and also for
30 seconds, sorry. And the third one is the evacuation alarm. That is a continued tone for 5 minutes. Our emergency number is 97777. Again, 97777. This is where I relocated. It's just a demonstration of the nearest meeting point. Please follow some safety rules while passing our operation area. Follow all the rules, notice, regulations, and operating procedures. Do not take any risks. The following items are strictly forbidden inside the refinery danger zone: matches, lighter devices which could cause sparks, firearms, cameras, and mobile phones. Whenever asked to perform a task, always request the corresponding work permission. Never use petroleum products for cleaning purposes. It is prohibited to handle machines and equipment for which you have not been properly trained or do not have necessary authorization. Always wear an appropriate safety outfit and use the protective gear best suited for a particular working environment or type of job. Secure yourself with a safety harness when performing at more than 2 meters above the ground. Do not park your vehicle next to a fire hydrant, above a manhole cover, or where it could block an emergency exit. Advise immediately your supervisor, and the maximum speed limit inside the refinery is 30 kilometers per hour. To ensure an uninterrupted meeting, we kindly ask you to turn your phones into silent mode. From my part, this is everything, and I wish you all a nice meeting. Thank you.
Now, I'll let you with the welcome session with Mr. Minister.
Your Excellency, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Hassan,